This is the time of the year, I think, where we really need a good, reliable oven. One that's going to give you sort of good results whenever you're baking, and also one that's a good size, so you can cook lots of different things at the same time. Now, I've got an interesting cake for you. It's called a Bundt cake, and it's made in this tin here, most unusual shaped tin. And this is a cake that you can use if you want to replace it as a Christmas cake, or if you want to serve it up as a pudding. And the great thing about this is it's cutting down in the cooking time from maybe steaming for about 3-4 hours for your Christmas pudding, or about 3 to 4 hours again for your Christmas cake. This was going to cook for you in less than an hour. It starts off in the bowl. I've got butter and sugar creamed together until they're really nice and light and fluffy. And then it's an all-in-one recipe, but there's lots of lovely, interesting flavours in it because it's got mincemeat and it's got orange and it's got vanilla, and that works really well. So, creaming together the butter and the sugar till it's light and fluffy. Then to that I'm going to add the eggs, a little bit of egg, a little bit of flour alternately until you get it mixed in. And when it's starting to come together quite smooth, then I'm adding to that a couple of ounces of ground almonds, a little bit of orange rind going in, a little bit of cinnamon if you want a wee bit of pinch of that in, some pecan nuts, which I'm just going to add a few, and I'm going to use more of these for decorating it at the end. And then finally the mincemeat. And I've got about a pound of mincemeat here, which I'm just going to mix into all of this, and then straight into the tin. Now this tin, as you can see, I've greased really well because it is an unusual shape, and in order if you get it out nice and easily, if you give it a grease, you can either do it with oil or butter. And so I'm just going to scrape this all right into the tin, and there we are, we're ready for the oven. We're going to cook this in the middle shelf of the oven, 180 degrees. It's only going to take about 45 minutes to cook, which is a lot shorter time than a Christmas cake. And now I'm going to show you a lovely brandy and orange sauce that would turn this Christmas cake into a pudding. Now I'm going to make the brandy sauce just while the cake is cooling down over here. And it's great having a hob that has a variety of rings, because to make this brandy sauce you need a really good high temperature to get the sugar and the butter dissolved until it's really bubbling and turns a lovely golden colour, almost like toffee. And then when you get to that lovely toffee stage, just lift it off the heat for a second, add a little splash of brandy to it. You can add as much or as little as you want. And if you don't want to put brandy into it, you can add a little squirt of orange juice. In fact, a little bit of orange juice is rather nice in this as well. And then just adding to that a little bit of cream. Have the cream beaten up until it's nice and stiff, and just as this is starting to cool down a little bit, mix the cream into it, and you can either serve it separately, or you can do what I'm doing, which is just to pour a little bit of this over the top of the cake, and then I'm just going to decorate it with holly, with lovely little Cape gooseberries and some of those lovely seasoned fruits to turn it into either a cake or a pudding, whichever way you fancy. And there we have a mincemeat and orange Bundt cake served with brandy sauce, either as a pudding or as a cake without the sauce.